Hey peeps, welcome to another video. Today it is my pattern review for the McCall's 7974. Today I'm wearing the maxi version with the short sleeves with the little ties on them and the collar, and I have also raised up the front of this dress. Now this is my third iteration of this dress. My first one was with the Lisa Comfort All Over Roses print in mint, and then the second one was this mustard and pink floral, which I got from the Gold Hawk Road. Last year, I think it was September, it might have even been August, but I put up the fabric for a vote on Patreon, and the Patreon peeps picked this fabric for the sew along. Now I was just about to go on holiday. I was hoping to get it done before my holiday, and I really didn't, and by the time I got back it didn't seem appropriate to be making a summer dress for October. So I waited until last month before, I think it was May, yes I think it was May, to make the 7974. The Patreon peeps voted for collarless, sleeveless and the midi length, and then they also voted for this fabric. So I started making the dress and I put it together according to the pattern instructions. So it has a front facing, the yoke is lined, the midriff is lined and the rest is unlined. I got about halfway through making this dress and I kind of stopped filming because I personally did not like the construction method and how this dress was going together. I really like the finished dress. I think the finished dress is beautiful, but I really didn't like how it went together because I couldn't finish the insides the way that I prefer. I mean, I have finished the insides with French seams and bias binding, but it was really difficult to do that well with the way that the construction method went together. So as I say, I stopped filming about halfway through. I finished the dress. I do really like this dress. It is incredibly cleavage-tastic. I mean, so is this one, but this is even lower cut. Yeah, this dress is super cleavage-tastic. The point, the midriff is where the bodice crosses over, and I've actually raised up the midriff point on this, or the cross point on this one, by about 1.5 inches. I may even go back and add like another 0.5 inch to it, although, you know, I don't mind cleavage. I'm not against cleavage, but this one I have to wear a plunge bra with it. If I want to wear a balconette bra, it shows. I am currently wearing a balconette bra. You might just be able to see it, but with this one you could 100% see it. It was not covered whatsoever, and personally I prefer balconette bras. So I finished this dress. I do like this dress. I will wear this dress, but I did not want to show you guys how to put this dress together this way because it just wasn't something that I personally liked. And again, there is absolutely nothing wrong with overlocking the insides or the raw edges of your dresses for the insides of your dress if that is your preference. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. If that is your preference, you can totally make that dress the way that the pattern calls for, and it will look lovely, because it does look lovely on the outside. It's just my personal preference is, as you know, either to French seam, bias bind or fully line something. That one was not it. So along came dress number 2. Now this one I have fully lined the bodice and I love this. I much prefer how this looks. However, this one is also incredibly cleavage-tastic because, as we've said before, the match point at the front is the bottom or the top of the midriff point, the bottom of the bodice portion. And again, I can wear this with a plunge bra, but if I want to wear my balconette bra, which again is my preference, it shows. So this fabric was billed as a cotton lawn, but I actually think it's like a cotton poplin. It's beautiful, but it is a little bit heavier. So I think what I'm actually going to do is keep this one, and I'm going to make like a hot pink blouse to go underneath it, and I'm going to use this as, I believe the Americans call it a jumper, so like, you know, an overdress to have something worn underneath it. And I think in autumn that's going to look really beautiful. I'm not ruling out wearing it in the hotter months with plunge bras, but as I say, my preference is balconette bras. I did the sew along for this one, and the sew along for this one is great. Even if I do say so myself, it's already up. As I say, this particular style, the collarless, sleeveless and midi length, was voted for by my Patreon peeps, and there's a long list of names going across the bottom of the screen now for all the Patreon peeps that voted for this particular dress and style of dress and that fabric. and I need to say thank you very much to all those Patreon peeps, because I knew I was going to love this pattern, and that was another reason that I wanted to go back to the drawing board and try and raise up the front of the bodice. Not loads, I don't mind cleavage, I just want to be able to wear the underwear that I want to wear, which I can with this one. As I say, I may even tweak it to add an extra ½ inch just to be on the safe side, but I absolutely love this dress. So this is the maxi version with the short sleeves, with the ties, with the collar, and I have done a sew along for this one as well, which will be coming out soon, and I show you how to raise up this portion to give you more coverage. I show you how to put on the collar, and I show you how to put on the sleeves and how to make the sleeves. So I made one set of sleeves with bias binding around the little keyhole here, and I hated it. It was fiddly, it was difficult, I didn't like how it looked, and I made my own bias binding out of this fabric to match. Hated it, really didn't like it. So I went back and I cut out linings for the sleeves, so the entirety of this bodice is lined. Lining these sleeves made this so much easier, so much easier. Highly recommend. And as I say, there is a sew along coming out for making this bodice from start to finish very soon. I talk you through the entirety of making this bodice, and then you can go back to the mustard sew along for finishing the dress and putting the skirt onto the dress. This is a viscose that I got from eBay. The lovely Rachel from Stitched Up gave me a heads up about a company that had some beautiful patterned viscoses. I caved. It wasn't too expensive. I think it was £6 per metre, and I got 5 metres. I have enough that I think I'm going to be able to get a little top out of the remainder as well. I definitely would have had enough if I hadn't had to have recut the sleeves and then cut linings for the sleeves. But as I say, I prefer how this looks. It looks so much neater and more professional, in my opinion, than the attempt that I had made at bias binding, so that's why I've done this. I really like the little ties on there as well. I think this is a very boho dress. I think it's lovely. I did say in the waffle when I'd finished it that, you know, it is slightly restrictive. It's not. When you think about it, woven sleeves in a woven dress that is fitted at the waist, you're going to have some restriction in movement because the waist sits where it does, and that anchors the dress, and so, you know, there's only so much fabric here, and to get your arms right above your head, the waist needs to come up, and I can do that, and the waist has come up by a good 3 inches there. So, you know, that is actually not bad for a woven dress. Some lovely peeps in the comments on that particular waffle mentioned a Threads article or a Threads video which described how to get more mobility in a woven sleeve in a fitted bodice, and then also an amazing resource which is a flamenco dress expert. And obviously flamenco dancers wear very tight fitted woven bodices most of the time, and they have to get their arms right above their heads. And it was really interesting. The sleeve cap on a flamenco dancer's dress looks very flat compared to the kind of you know, the hill that we're used to seeing as dressmakers. So that was really interesting. I haven't tried it. I mean, obviously it works. This lady has perfected the fit of flamenco dancing dresses, so obviously it does work, but I haven't tried it as yet. I don't know what it would do to the dress when you're wearing it like this, and if it would be something that is then comfortable to wear all of the time when you're not dancing, as it were. The lady in the Threads article is a Simplicity pattern designer, and she has been for 20 years. All the tricks and tips that she was mentioning, her mannequin ended up with about this much range of motion in its fitted sleeves. So I'm classing this as good. I think this is a good range of motion. I won't wear this dress dancing, but it is a maxi dress, so that probably wouldn't have been the best idea anyway. Again, with sleeves on it, a little bit warm making perhaps. So, you know, I'm going to wear this one for the rest of the day. I love this dress. I think it's awesome. I didn't put pockets in this one. I am not a fan of pockets in lighter weight fabrics. I feel that they drag the line of the dress down when you put things in your pockets, including your hands. But I have put pockets in the 2 cotton ones because those ones I think can take it doesn't distort the fabric as much, again, in my opinion. But I do talk you through how to French seam your inseam pockets on the sew along for this one, and all of the sew along videos will be listed down below. I am going to make more of this dress. I'm 100% going to make more of this dress. I actually really love this little collar on it. I think this is really fetching. I like this a lot. The only version that I haven't made that I want to make is the bishop sleeved one. I won't be making the shorter skirt, and I won't be making the 2-tiered sleeves, just because they're not something that I personally like on me. They look gorgeous on other people, definitely. It's just not a look that I particularly like. I do want to make the bishop sleeve one, that's for sure. I already have the fabric picked out. It's another rayon border print. It's very 70s, and I think with the bishop sleeves it's going to look super 70s. And somebody did sort of comment and say maybe think about doing the midi skirt rather than the maxi skirt on it, so it doesn't look quite so 70s. But I'm not sure. I think I might embrace, if I have enough fabric, because I only have 5 meters of it, and with a border print you have to cut strategically, so I may or may not have enough fabric to do what I want with it. But definitely going to have the bishop sleeves on that one. The reviews that I've read, the bishop sleeves are designed to come to sort of mid forearm, and I'm thinking I might want them to be wrist length, but I kind of like the idea of mid forearm as well, so I think I'll retrace the bishop sleeve pattern and lengthen one and keep one as is. I love it. I absolutely love it. These little sleeves as well, they're really cute. I like the little ties. They do make wearing cardigans slightly more difficult, but not impossible. Definitely not impossible. It's really nice to swish around in. I like the finish of it. I'm really happy with this dress, really happy with this dress, and as I say, there will definitely be more in my future. Highly recommend this pattern. For me, with the tweaks that I have made, I mean the pattern itself, if you don't mind overlocking on the inside of your dress, is written perfectly and goes together really well. I have no issues putting it together in the, you know, pieces didn't match and notches didn't match and things like that. The pattern itself is really well drafted, and the instructions are great if you don't mind that finish on the inside. If you do want to have really pretty insides like me, and again, that's just a personal preference. It's not saying that there's anything wrong with anyone not fully lining this dress. Totally fine, you do you. That's, you know, that's the beauty of sewing. You can do exactly as you please. I fully lined it and I absolutely love it, and I will be making more, many more. There's at least 3 fabrics in my stash that I can think of that I would like in this dress. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't yet, please subscribe, and I will see you again very soon. Bye.